Tiger Football Wrap-Up. I'm Coach Mike Cizzini, and this week we'll review the Middletown game and look ahead to next week's opponent, Mount Vernon Knights. This is my guest host, Damani Higgs. He's going to talk about the game.
Last week, after a long ride up to Middletown, White Plains got off to a fast start with a touchdown by Dion Fuendo. At the end of the half, it was 16-0, almost 16-8, with a touchdown prevented by the White Plains defense. After the half, Middletown came off to a fast start with the touchdown, and White Plains preventing the 2 points with its goal line defense. Directly after that, touchdown by Dion Fuendo made the game 22-6, and with the safety penalty, the game was 22-8. Now, Dion Fuendo, the tailback, he scored all 3 touchdowns, and the 2-point conversion by, I believe it was Jason Young. Dion stated that this is one of his hardest hitting games, coming off the field with a broken helmet and bleeding from the jaw. That's a wrap.
Okay, now to our highlights. In the first quarter, Dion blasted through the line to give the Tigers a TD for a 6-0 lead. Then Dion ran through the hole for the 2-point conversion. It was 8-0 Tigers. In the second quarter, Sean Waite made a nice pass over the middle to Billy Young to keep a drive alive. In the second quarter, Dion ran through the line again to TD to make it 14-0 Tigers. And then Sean Waite passes on a boot pass to Jason Young for a 2-point conversion to make it 16-0 Tigers. In the third quarter, Middletown scores a TD to make it 16-6. Middletown gets a safety when the snap goes over Thomas Newkirk's head to make it 16-8. In the fourth quarter, Dion has a long run to make it 22-8, 22-8 final. Now, I'd like to introduce our guest. To my left is Marcel Landrum, plays quarterback. To my far left is Sean Waite. He also plays quarterback. The reason we have 2 quarterbacks on the show today is because they both play in the game. We have 2 starting quarterbacks here. Coach Sam has now decided to elect this year to rotate the quarterbacks. And Damani has some questions for the 2 quarterbacks.
Coming off of a great season last year, do you find it a pressure trying to lead this offensive team? Are you pressured to win?
Well, we are pressured to win because of the tradition that White Plains has. But as far as this team this year, we understand that we have to win. Now, we're doing pretty good now.
Okay, the next question. Okay, now you 2 are both offensive captains. How do you prepare yourselves for the games, as well as preparing the whole offensive unit, from down to the line to the backs? How do you guys prepare during the season?
I guess we go over everything, make sure we know all the plays, and be ready before the game.
This question's for both of you. How do you feel you guys sharing the job? Marcel, you first.
Personally, I think it's a good idea because the team doesn't know who's going to start the game, who's going to have a good game or a bad game, and it helps our team that we have 2 leaders instead of just 1. And he can step in if I need the help, or I can step in if he needs the help.
Sure.
I think it's a good idea. 2 quarterbacks, either one of them, both of us can handle the team. I guess it's a good idea.
You guys saying this because you're both sitting next to each other? Or?
Nah, I'm saying it's a good idea. He can run a team just as good as I can run a team. We both do the same thing.
Okay, Marcel, what are some of your strengths as a quarterback? What do you offer to the team?
First, I offer leadership. As they know, I'm very vocal in practice and in the game. And as far as my ability, I can run the ball, I can throw the ball, I can help the team win.
Sean, what are your strengths for this Tiger team this year?
Well, as the quarterback, I throw the ball good. I can run the ball okay. I can handle the team, keep everybody calm, talk the team up when they need it. That's it, really.
Okay, well, you guys, as far as experience on your offensive line as the quarterbacks, you know what they do better than anybody else. You know what your offensive line does, and you know how your blocking is. How do you find your blocking, and is there much experience on your offensive line?
Well, as of right now, there's a lot of experience with Andy Martinez coming back. Everett, Brian Noble, he missed last year, but he's back this year. We have a new center in Tennille. We share centers. We each have our own centers. Tennille is my center, and he's doing pretty good this year.
Who's your center?
Outside Patello,
You guys live in the same neighborhood, don't you?
same building.
So that's good. You guys practice at home?
Nah.
Go ahead.
So your line is very experienced. Now on the defensive side, now neither of you played defense. You started defense last year, so I remember they had to take you out. On the defensive side, your defensive unit did very well in the game. They did extremely well. They held them up only to 8 points. And you had to get a little kinks out of your defense. How do you think of your defensive side?
Right now, our defense is doing great. They picked up our offense because we were struggling to come out of the second half of the Middletown game. The defense came in with a couple of good stops, picked our offense up, and we got back on track.
Speaking of not playing defense, is that by design, or you guys just want to concentrate on quarterback? Or Sean White, I know you played free safety on JV. You just have no desire to play defense, or if coach had to put you in there, you can do the job?
If you had to put me in there, I'll do the job.
How about you, Marcel?
I'm ready to go in. That's his idea to keep us
To keep
healthy.
you there? Oh, okay. Okay, I didn't know that. Damani, you have any more questions for me? Sure.
Yes, well, as far as Rasan and Sean living in the same building, living in the same neighborhood, as a team, the whole team as a unit, are they all friends? Do you have a good camaraderie with the team? Do you guys, how are you guys on the field as well as off the field?
We hang out off the field. We chill, do whatever. And on the field, it's the same way.
So last week, Dion Fuendo said that the team is like family. Do you have the same feeling about the team? Is it like family to you? Is it second family off the field?
Yeah.
Some people be with the team more than they be with their own family.
Going through the summer, most of us, everybody was there. Everybody. Helping each other, going through summer practice, and now late at night after school, helping each other out. We're there for each other.
Late at night? How late?
Late as his knees.
Hope you're not staying out too long. Marcel, let's get your hands on last week's game. Just talk about it from the beginning.
Well, last week's game, to open up the game, we came out. We struggled a little bit because we were nervous, and long bus ride. So our offense didn't get off to a very fast start. Then our defense controlled the game until our offense got back on track. We just did what we had to do.
Sean White, from the second quarter when you went in, tell us about it.
Middletown had a tough defensive line, good secondary. They held us for a while until Dion scored. The pass over the middle gave us a lot of yards. Then Dion mostly handled it from there. That was it. But they had a good defense. They were strong.
Not to berate or offend the offensive line, but they didn't start kicking in the game until more towards the end of the game. Started making some good plays. What were the key plays that the linemen really came in, or what was the key time that the line came in when you needed them?
Fourth quarter, they came through. When Dion had the long run, they all blocked.
You could tell our conditioning was better
And we
because
started to wear them down.
Yeah, we wasn't as tired.
every time they had a chance, you saw their big line, they were on their knees begging for water. But finally put them away. Marcel, do you have a favorite receiver to throw to on the team?
No, not really. I have confidence in all of them. If they needed to make a big play, if I get them the ball, they'll be able to do it.
Who are the receivers anyway?
We have Billy Young at halfback. We have Thomas Newkirk at halfback. Jason Young is wide receiver. And Daniel Murray is the tight end.
Now, you haven't thrown to the tight end that much. Is that because he's a key blocker in your offense?
It's not by design. It's just if there's pressure and I can't see him, then I have to go for another receiver. But if I have the opportunity to throw to him, I have confidence that he can catch it.
Who's your favorite receivers?
I ain't got no favorite receiver. But right now, I just be throwing the ball to Billy because he always open. And I know he going to come down to grab.
Yeah, Billy does a good job at catching the ball. Okay, Marcel, during the game, did you feel any pressure? Did you sense the offensive line was having trouble? Did you try to talk to them and get them geared up, or?
Yeah, towards the middle of the first quarter, beginning of the second, Middletown's defense were doing a couple different things that we haven't practiced. So
What were they doing?
they were slanting and coming outside. We haven't practiced that much, so I told the line to come to the sideline and talk it over with Coach. So when Coach ran into plays for our offense, we'll know what to do and when to do it against them.
Sean, what plays finally started working? Because it seemed like we were running up against the wall the whole game.
The reach. Just pitching the ball to Dion, let him run outside, see where the hole was and pick it. All the reaches.
So your inside game wasn't as explosive as you thought it would be due to the change in defense.
They had good linebackers line. They line was bigger than us, heavier. I don't know if they were stronger, but
Yeah, according to the head coach, that with a few missed assignments, we could have ran inside.
yeah, we could have ran inside.
You think that?
Yeah, but they had a.
Because we're not small either. We can run inside.
No, we got a nice size line. But we could have. The reaches kept working.
Okay, now we're going to the Mount Vernon scouting report. First, we're going to ask our guests questions about Mount Vernon. They're going to cut away to Coach Armagida and Coach Clinton's scouting reports. Sean, we'll start with you. What's your view on Mount Vernon? I don't know if you've seen any film yet, but you might know some kids from last year coming back from Mount Vernon or anything like that.
I think they got a good tailback or whatever, a fast tailback, and a good receiver, and I think they throw the ball. I don't really know a lot on Mount Vernon.
What about you, Marcel? You have anything on Mount Vernon?
As far as this year, I haven't seen any tapes yet. But last year, me playing in the game, they defense were pretty good. And they got a couple good guys returning. Should be a good game.
Last year's game was in the typhoon,
Yeah.
practically, and we still managed to score a lot of points. As a staff, we scouted the Mount Vernon-Lincoln game this past weekend. We also scouted Roosevelt-Kingston. Mount Vernon blew out Lincoln pretty bad, the same way that we blew them out in the beginning. So they have a lot of speed, and there's a couple big players on that team, and we got to be careful. And they come up hard on defense, and your quarterback's got to be ready.
Has the coaching staff made any adjustments for their defense? Because I believe they run a 4-4. Does Mount Vernon run? They run a 4-4, which is practically the same as Middletown. Have you guys made any type of adjustments? Are you guys prepared and ready for this game as of today?
If the game was being played today, I think that we're ready right now. Because coming off the Middletown game, which was a so-so game for us, everybody's ready to play against Mount Vernon.
Did the Middletown game make you stronger, and did it make you better as a player, Sean White?
Middletown game make you realize more and make you, the mistakes you make, you won't make in the next game. And it's all learning experience, I guess.
This game, White Plains really can't take their defensive line for granted. So this is going to be a tough game for White Plains.
Okay, now to Coach Armagida's scouting report on the Mount Vernon offense and what they run and who's dangerous on their team.
Their offense, they run an I offense where they have a real good tailback, real good fullback, and quarterback. The tailback, number 2, Douglas, he's a returning player. He's a real good tailback, a lot of speed. Their fullback is real big. He's got to be about 6'2", 230. He also plays defensive end. He's a real aggressive blocker, a real aggressive ball carrier. Their quarterback, number 3, started for JV last year. Their undefeated JV team. He's real good as a junior. He's going to be good this year, and he's going to be even better next year. their offensive line. They're big, they're strong, they block real well. They like to run counters, an option. They also like, when they pass, they like to sprint out and throw the ball. And number 13, the split end, he's probably their best receiver. He caught a touchdown pass on a quick slant last week. And so we're looking to stop 13 on the quick slant. We're look to stop their power game by number 2, and 32 to the fullback, number 2 to tailback, and we're going to have to contain number 3 as quarterback. So it's going to be a tough task, but we'll see. I think we'll be up to it. We just got to get our game plan down, and I think we'll be okay.
And now, Coach Clinton's scouting report on Mount Vernon's 4-4 defense.
Mount Vernon's the most improved team probably in the Section 1 this year. They're going to be very tough. They run an 8-man front with a 4-4. Very aggressive ends. We're probably going to have to try to get outside. We're going to have to pull it a couple of times to try to get it downfield. This is going to be one of our biggest challenges for the league. Last year we played a real tough game down there at Memorial Field. The kids are going to have to do real well. I know Coach Santanato will have them hyped up for it. I know we'll have the community out there working hard, and everyone will be behind us. This defense with aggressive ends, we'll look for them to be coming down real hard. We're going to try to get outside with Dion Fuendo and Billy Young, Thomas Newkirk. We'll be going up the middle a couple of times to try to attack their tackles inside, probably with Pietro and also Terrence Ewell. Should be a good game. Looking for everybody to come out there and support us. Like I said again, Mount Vernon is probably going to be one of our biggest tests in our league for section this year. Thank you.
Now, the part of our show is the JV update. Last week, JV had 2 games. We played on a Monday and then on a Saturday. First game, we traveled up to Yorktown and we won 29-14. It was a tough game. It was broken up late by McCoy's late run to make it a 29-14 game. Then on Saturday morning, Middletown came down here to play us, and they came off with their line was just as big as their varsities, and their coach there, they had a track team in the backfield. We were up 16-0 in the first quarter, and we gave up 2 long kick returns for touchdowns. The stars of that game were McCoy, Stephen McCoy, Maurice Stedman, Craig Reynolds, and Shahid Emery. Shahid Emery caught 2 nice touchdown passes out of the wishbone on a power pass. Next week's opponent for JV is Mount Vernon at 9:30 in the morning at Mount Vernon High School. And now to our Where Are They Now segment of the show. John Hopgood, last year's halfback, went to Iona College, and this week he started in the game. He did real well, and we wish John the best. John is also a former Con Ed winner. Speaking of Con Ed winners, last week's Con Ed winner was also Dion Fuendo.
Next week, we're going to review the Mount Vernon game against Mount Vernon's powerful offense. I'd like to thank Marcel Landrum and Sean White for appearing on the show this week. And that's a wrap.